Hey guys, and thanks for joining me for another week of What's for Dinner. My name is Stephanie. If you are new here, welcome, and if you are not, welcome back. I have some super delicious recipes to share with you guys this week. I think you guys are really gonna like them. Also, I am collabing this week with Taylor Elmore. She does similar content to me, but also takes it like a step further because she also does cleaning videos and she does like fashion videos. She literally does it all and she does a great job at all of it. So definitely go and check her out. I'm sure you guys are gonna love her channel. Alright, so tonight I made sun-dried tomato Alfredo in the slow cooker with chicken. This was, I found off of Pinterest and adapted the recipe a lot, but it was super delicious, you guys. Oh my gosh. It was hard to pick a favorite this week because everything was really good. But really this one was like, if not in first place, definitely in second. It was so good. But I also have the recipe, not the recipe, but the ingredients listed here to the right. So if you want to screenshot that or whatever, you definitely can. But I will of course link the original recipe below. But like I said, I definitely adapted this quite a bit. So just be wary of that. But yeah, so let's go ahead and get into it. So I just put the chicken breast in the bottom of my crock pot that I did spray with Pam, and I'm seasoning it up with my onion salt, Italian seasoning, and garlic powder. And then I'm going to go ahead and just kind of flip them over on each other so I can spread the seasoning around. I'm going to add my onions and peppers in and my 2 jars of sauce. I'm not going to add any water because I don't want this to be too liquidy, and I know the sauce will break down just a little bit when it's in the slow cooker, so I think that there will be definitely enough sauce. So I've had this on high for about 3 hours, and I'm just chunking up my chicken. I'm not taking it out because I don't need to shred it, but I'm just putting it in smaller pieces. I'm going to go ahead and add my spinach in here and mix it in and just let it go long enough to wilt in the sauce. Like I'll cover it up, and then once it's wilted in, I'm going to go ahead and add in my mozzarella cheese, and then we'll be good to eat. Alright guys, so this is what it looks like all plated up. I just added a little bit of Parmesan cheese to mine. I usually just drop the pasta when I drop my spinach, so that way everything is done at the same time. This was so good, you guys. It's super delicious. I'm like obsessed with this now. It's like definitely gonna be a go-to. I'm so happy that I took help from the store and just got the jarred sun-dried tomato Alfredo, because the main complaint on this recipe on Pinterest was that the Alfredo was falling apart. So this stayed together and it was just absolutely fabulous. Alright guys, so tonight's dinner was queso smothered chicken. This was another winner for sure, Josh's favorite this week. I got this one off Pinterest as well. I have all of the ingredients off to the right hand side here again for you guys. Like I said, this was really good. I don't know, still everything was like my favorite this week. Everything was so delicious, so you're gonna keep hearing me say it, but definitely awesome. So let's go ahead and get into it. So basically this called for some sort of a marinade that didn't sound that great to me. So I know what fajita seasoning tastes like and I don't know what that tastes like, so I just decided to kind of like do the fajita seasoning and add some garlic and some onion salt in here. And I also added 1/3 cup of water and a little bit of olive oil in there. So I just let that marinate for about 30 minutes. And it did call for it to be grilled. However, I just didn't feel like going in and out for the grill. Also, there's a humongous spider that's like blocking my back door that's like scaring me. So I'm like avoiding going out back. But anyways, I think that it'll be good because I was able to use my pan like with the drippings from the chicken in it to cook the orzo in that goes along with this. So it worked out for the best. You guys, this orzo, legit mind-blowing. Like, even if I don't make this dish, I'm gonna make the orzo for like everything all the time. It is so good, and it's super easy, which is like amazing. But yeah, definitely my favorite part of this dish was the orzo. So in the recipe, it says to put in like 2 tablespoons of chili powder, which I thought would be kind of boring. So I just saved 2 tablespoons of fajita seasoning from the little packet, and I just seasoned it with that. So here's where things got a little interesting for me. First of all, I couldn't find my can opener, so I had to like knife stab the can of Rotel. So I was already like already in a great mood from that one. But also like the Velveeta was like sticking to everything, so I was just like, I'm not like the Velveeta whisperer, I can't deal with this. So I just ended up using my fingers and like pinching off little pieces to put in this little bowl. So basically it's just like the queso that Velveeta has on the side of their like box, usually, with just the can of Rotel and Velveeta. I don't know if you can see my horrible sad can situation because I couldn't open it all the way, but that's just how I did it. It's just a can of Rotel and 8 ounces of Velveeta cheese, and I just put that in the microwave. And once that was melted, I poured it all over my chicken and orzo. This was so good, you guys. That orzo has won a place in my heart. Every time I make anything like tacos or fajitas or anything, I'm definitely making that orzo because it was fabulous. It's fantastic. Super delicious, you guys. Super easy. It was super quick. It only took me about a half an hour from start to finish to make this. Even with the like can opening situation, it was awesome. Super good. Highly recommend this. So tonight for dinner, I am making a French style chicken stew, I believe is the name on the Pinterest recipe. This was pretty good. This was actually like, it was really good for like chicken soup or stew. I don't know. It was different, but it was really good. And I will say this was not super quick at all. This took me like 2 hours. We ate like pretty late at this night, but it was still really good. It was just definitely make this on like a Saturday or something when you have like all the time in the world. I might even adapt this to a Crockpot meal maybe one day, but either way, it was really delicious though, and it was pretty easy, so let's go ahead and get started. So the recipe called for only 2 cloves of garlic, but you guys know that is not my style. I love garlic, so what I ended up doing is just crushing the garlic so that it would release its flavor but not get lost, because I'm going to be cooking this for a long time and I didn't want the garlic to be lost in it, so I just crushed it. That's why I'm also cutting everything in kind of like larger pieces, because I know it's going to be cooking for a long time and I don't want the like texture or flavor to be lost in the stew. So I cut everything in kind of thick pieces. So the first step is browning your chicken. I don't exactly know why I did this. Mostly because the chicken, if it was reaching out of the pot, like at the end of this like cooking, it got brown, but everything else, like the skin just kind of like melted off at the end of this. So I might even skip that step next time, but whatever. Anyway, I'm sure there was a good reason for it. The spice mixture in the recipe called for like fresh herbs and stuff like that. I didn't have that on hand and I was just trying to get this party going, so I ended up just using my own spices, as you guys saw at the beginning. So I just seasoned up everything with some onion salt, some rotisserie chicken seasoning. It's just rotisserie seasoning. It's really good. It's from McCormick. And I haven't been able to find it for a long time, so now that I found it, I'm like super excited and I'm going to put it in everything. So I cooked my onions and my garlic and carrots and celery, and I added in a little bit of broth, only because, well, it says put in like a half a cup of wine, but I just decided to just use broth. So I just wanted to scrape up some of those bits on the bottom, and also I just felt like everything was gonna burn if I didn't put some sort of liquid in there. So I cooked that up a little bit, and then I added in my flour, and this was also supposed to thicken it. It didn't seem very thick, but it still was good. A lot of this, like, I don't know, maybe I didn't follow the recipe right, I don't know, but it was pretty good still. But like I said, like, I feel like there was a lot of steps in here that didn't need to be in here, but I'll look at it more closely next time. So I just went ahead and dropped in my tomato paste, and this week tomato paste has been like highlighted for me. It has brought so much flavor into my world. I really feel like I don't use tomato paste enough, but I really should. But yeah, so also speaking of flavors, I used mushroom stock instead of chicken stock in this, just to like give more depth of flavor. So definitely just a thought, if you guys can find it, use it, because it tastes so good. But so basically what happens is I had to just like fit all the chicken in here and then put the top on and then bake it at 350 for 45 minutes, and that's what it looked like. So this is everything all plated up. So what I had to do after I showed you that pot was I had to put the potatoes in and then put it back in the oven for another 45 minutes. So yeah, this was delicious. It was super delicious. Like it was really flavorful. I don't know. It just took a long time, that's all. I just will have to look at the recipe again and kind of see how I can speed it up just a little bit or not make it on a weekday. But I don't want to discourage you from not making this. This is really, really good. It just takes a while. So definitely, if you have the time, try it out. Alright guys, so this was the tie with the Alfredo for the best meal of the week. I think this one wins. Also, this is the last meal of the week, unfortunately, because I had a burn situation. Somehow, I don't know, like, literally what kind of a life I have here, but I burned my hand on the dishwasher, and so it's like, I guess there's like a little metal bar thing that gets like super hot, and I guess I touched it for a little bit too long before I noticed, and my hand was like, I can't. So yeah, everything hurt. And so I powered through this last meal, but I couldn't do it again. So this was it for this week, but it was so good, and it's made a ton of leftovers, so I'll be fine. I didn't change out too much in this recipe. I did change out a few things. My ingredients are here on the right hand side that I used. But yeah, this was super delicious. It's almost like chicken spaghetti, but in rice form. So yeah, let's go ahead and get into making it. Alright, so I just started cooking the rice Aroni. In my like burn trauma situation, I was so distracted that I didn't put the butter in first, so I just put it in afterwards, and it was fine. It melted quickly, so I just cooked this rice Aroni according to package directions. And the only thing that is different is that you will see in the last 5 minutes of cooking is when I added my veggies in here. Kind of wish I hadn't done that. I wish I had just cooked them on their own, like I did when I did make chicken spaghetti, and I usually do. But I was just like trying to get through this meal and just like put my hand on like frozen chicken or whatever I had on the side there, ice and stuff. So I would recommend pre-cooking these. You can even probably cook them in the pan and then just add in the rice Aroni and make the like rice Aroni the way you normally would. And I think that would be fine. One of my modifications on this recipe was it called for carrots. And I just knew in my heart that carrots would not be done. I mean, I knew in my heart that this probably wouldn't even be done like to the softness that it should be. And I was right. So I just can't imagine what a nightmare it would have been with the carrots. They definitely would have been hard. So these were, they weren't soft, but they also weren't like, it wasn't like a raw crunch. It was just like, I don't know. I didn't mind it too much. I know Josh isn't really a fan, but just like I said, so see, it puts me in here having them for 5 minutes, and then you bake it in the oven for 30 minutes, but there's not that much liquid that's like soaking into these, so it's not really like softening them too much. It did the job. I still found it absolutely delicious, like I said, but I don't know. So Anyways, I put in the sour cream, and then it did call for cream of chicken. You guys know I cannot deal with the cream of chicken chunks, so I just used cream of celery, and it was, like I said it like 16 times now, it's delicious. It was so, so good. Also, fun fact, this is the chicken that I made when I made my queso, like, smothered chicken. So that was nice. I had some leftover chicken, and I was able to just use it in this dinner instead of like running out and getting a rotisserie chicken. So this recipe originally called for shredded cheddar cheese. I just used Mexican blend cheese because I love Mexican blend. I love the flavor of it. Also, this Tillamook cheese is like the Beyonce of cheeses. Why has nobody told me about this stuff? It is like amazing. So this is what it looks like coming out of the oven. This was, like I said, 15,000 times already. Super delicious, you guys. I love this. I'm obsessed with it. I'm definitely going to put this in my rotation to make. It's really, really, really good. And again, this one was like super quick to put together. It was so easy to put together too. You just like literally boxed rice and a few things to like throw in there, and it was just, the result is like so, so good. I loved it. Alright guys, that's gonna do it for me this week. If you like this video, don't forget to give it a thumbs up, and definitely don't forget to subscribe. Also, don't forget to hop on over to Taylor's channel. I will link her channel and her video below. I hope everybody has a blessed and awesome week.